So in my previous video, where the previous video was titled um, something about my secret channel is gonna bite me in the future, something like that. It was about this secret channel and how I'm gonna pay the consequences for it later on, and it'll affect my main channel. In that video, I got a comment from Vanessa asking, yes or no? There's a fly here. The question was, yes or no, do you believe in God, number one? And number two, do you believe Jesus is God? And I've tried answering it before, but Vanessa wasn't satisfied with the previous answer. She wanted a just yes or no answer. So the answer that I gave in the comment reply was, I said, do you believe in God? And my answer is yes. Although, as Carl Jung said, I don't have to believe, I know. And the question is, it's like asking someone, when you ask someone, do you believe in God? Usually it means, do you believe in the existence of God, that God exists? And it's like asking someone, do you believe that your mother exists? People would say, I don't have to believe my mother exists. I know my mother exists, right? So it's not quite accurate to say I believe in God, because belief is when you don't know for sure. It's when you don't know that you believe. If you know, then you know and you don't believe, right? You don't say, I believe my mother exists. You say, I know my mother exists. So just as that goes, I don't believe in God. I know God. Just having daily conversations, hearing God's voice, seeing visions that God shows me occasionally, not all the time, but occasionally. Just having daily conversations with God just made me get to know God over time. Since March 3rd, the night of March 3rd, and it is now July 2nd, so it's been almost exactly 4 months. So that's my more nuanced answer to question number one, do you believe in God? And if you missed it, the answer is, I don't have to believe, I know, just like Carl Jung did as well. Same answer for him. Although I think he regretted that answer in that TV program, because people just take the snippet and don't usually explain the context. But that's question number one. Question number two, is Jesus God? Do you believe Jesus is God? And the answer I gave was, it depends on how you define God. If you defined God as omnipotent, omniscient, and omnipresent, then no, Jesus is not God. But if you define Jesus as the personification of God, meaning the image of God become human, then yes, Jesus is God. So it really depends how you define God, right? Because Jesus is fully human, and no human is omnipresent, omniscient, omnipotent. So by having any one of those three qualities, that is automatically you are just not human. Humans just don't have those qualities. So fully human, number one, image of God is another definition, but not the powers of God. So in that sense, it depends on how you define God. If you define Jesus as all-powerful God, then no. And if you define God turned into a human, then yes. So that is the more... Well, I've explained it pretty well, but that's the more elaborated answer for, do I believe Jesus is God? So those are the two answers for Vanessa. I hope that is clear. Usually people want to have a yes or no question because they want to box the person in to either or. But if there are underlying assumptions in the question that need to be addressed, then you can't answer just a yes or no usually, because it depends on what you mean by that question. So the answer depends entirely on the assumptions of the question. Yeah. All right. That's the Q&A for those two questions.